There are 3 mistakes that you do while trying to reach your goals. The goals that you are writing aren't optimized for a maximum rate of success. You only write down your goals, but you don't write down the process to get to that goal, and even if you do, it's probably not structured efficiently enough. And you don't have the right mindset when trying to achieve your goals. I will teach you how to solve these 3 mistakes using the art of successful goal setting, the game plan of achievement, and the counterbalancing mindset. I'll just be real with you. The goals that you're setting for yourself are either way too humble or way too shallow. Or heck, even both. When you're writing your goals down, you're probably trying to think of what's realistic to achieve. After all, why strive for goals that are way too unrealistic to achieve, right? And that's fair enough, not gonna lie. But here's the problem. By doing this, you're actually killing your chances of success. Let me explain. If you need to drive to a destination that is 100 kilometers away, or 62 miles for you American folks, you don't put exactly 100 kilometers worth of gas in your car, right? Because any detour or traffic and you're cooked. You're always going to put some extra gas in because, worst case scenario, you might actually need the extra gas, or best case scenario, you leave some gas over. The extra gas guarantees that you'll reach your destination, but if you only add just enough from 100 kilometers, then there's no guarantee that you'll make it, and you probably won't, because traffic and detours always happen. So why aren't we applying the same logic to goal setting? Why aren't we adding the extra gas to our goals so that worst case scenario, we hit our original target, and best case scenario, we blow right past it and reach an even greater goal? The point that I'm trying to make here is that you should always have a rule of thumb to double down on your goals. For instance, if your original goal was to make €1,000 extra this month, then make the goal €2,000 extra this month. This guarantees that the actions and effort that you'll put in that goal match with the €2,000 in mind. And so, worst case scenario, you might actually need the extra gas/effort to reach your original goal of €1,000. Or best case scenario, you actually reach your €2,000 double down goal. Most goals are way too shallow. They're focused on the immediate reward, like what's right on your fingertips. It's like the first layer in an onion. It's, for instance, I want to be a millionaire or I want to have a six-pack. Those kind of goals. It's all good and well until you are hit with life. And oh boy, life? That is rough. Way more rough than the first layer of that onion. And so what happens is that roughness demotivates you until the point that you don't even want to work on your goal anymore. And that's why we need deep goals. Goals that go beyond the immediate rewards. Something that sits closer, and I know that this is gonna sound corny, but bear with me, to your heart rather than your fingertips. It's kind of like the inner core of an onion. Usually you can find deep goals by simply asking, why do I want this shallow goal? Why do you want to be a millionaire? Is it because you want to have the freedom that you never got because of a rough upbringing? Is it because you want to be able to provide for your family and kids and never have to worry about money because you saw your mom struggling and working 2 jobs just to make ends meet? Why do you want to have a six-pack? Is it because you were bullied because you were always chosen last in PE class? Is it because every day when you look in the mirror, you feel disappointed because you just don't recognize yourself anymore? Hey bruh, I said deep goals, so better expect deep emotions when trying to think about it. If there ain't no deep emotions, then you simply just don't want it that badly enough. It's those deep goals that let you persevere through the roughness of life. Because no matter how rough life can get, your inner core can never be broken. Well, except if you're an onion. But you get my point. The best of worlds is to combine these two. Double down on your deep goals. That way, you have both more than enough gas, but also more than enough grit to persevere through the tough times when trying to reach that goal of yours. This allows for a maximum rate of success optimization. But wait. This is not clearly enough. Because okay, you have written down your goals and that's cool and all, that's like the asterisk in the thumbnail, but you just can't leave it at that. Having a goal without a plan is like having a destination but without a map. You know where you want to go, but you'll just wander around in circles hoping that you'll get there. This is the part where you actually need to spend the most time on, because this part will bring the actual results, not just writing down your goals. Before you plan out your goals, you need to know about hyperbolic discounting. It's a concept we all naturally struggle with, in which we prefer small rewards right now rather than big rewards in the future. The further away a reward feels, the less motivation you have to actually reach it. To win this battle, you have to find a way to make your long-term goals feel relevant to the actions that you need to take right now. This is especially important on double down goals because now those goals are even further away. You should view your goals like a Russian matryoshka doll, where the step of your plan that you need to do right now is nested inside of the goal of the day, which is nested inside of the goal of the week, which is nested inside of the goal of the month, and so forth. Every small task should be like a building block for a larger accomplishment. By lining up your goals this way, you ensure that every action you take is like a domino that sets off a chain reaction towards your ultimate deep goal. In order to do this, we need to reverse engineer our goal. You should ask yourself the following questions through these 7 timeframes. First, you ask, what is your deep goal? Then, based on that deep goal, what are the things I can do in the next 5 years to be on track? Then, based on my 5-year goals, what are the things I can do this year, etc., etc. By the time that you have reached the right now question, you have identified the most important actions and steps that you need to take to stay on track. You are no longer just guessing at what is important, but rather you are working from a clear sense of priority. This process forces you to ignore at everything that is merely doable and focus only on the things that are necessary. But you can do all of that and still fail at reaching your goals. The matter of fact is that goals, and especially deep double down goals, are hard to achieve, and thus sacrifices need to be made. By the way, if you need any help to become a more productive person, whether that be a more productive entrepreneur, student, artist, doesn't matter, just send me a DM on Instagram or ping me on my Discord server. I react to all messages, so ask anything you want, I'd love to help. Anyway, back to the video. You have to realize that balance is a lie. If you're building something out of wood and you tap 10 nails lightly, none of them really go in. You may have 10 nails, but they're kinda useless. But if you hammer one nail with full force and it comes straight through, that one nail is actually worth way more than those other 10 lightly tapped nails. If you think balance means giving equal time to everything, then you'll never achieve anything great. That's because when you try to do everything at once, you end up doing everything poorly. Nothing basically gets the attention that it needs. Big success doesn't happen in the middle. It happens at the extremes. You need to go all in on what matters, and especially deep double down goals if you actually want to achieve them. Stop thinking about balance and start thinking about priorities. Going extremes means setting a priority and acting on it. When you do that, you will naturally go out of balance. That's because you're giving one thing more time over another. And that's honestly exactly what you should be doing. When you're supposed to be working, then work. And when you're supposed to be playing, then play. It's only when you try to balance everything all at once and blur those lines that things start to fall apart. Now the challenge is not avoiding being out of balance, because that's just inevitable. The challenge is knowing how long to stay focused on your priority. Because here's the thing, some things matter way more than your deep double down goals. Think about your health, your family, and avoiding serious consequences. The hard part is knowing when to go extreme and when to pull back. And you do that by counterbalancing, which basically means swinging back and forth like a swing. You push hard in one area and then you swing back to fix what you have ignored. Think of it like kinda holding your breath underwater. You can dive deep and stay under for a while, but eventually you'll have to come back up or you'll be running out of air. And the deeper you go, the more you need to go back up again. And you also can't stay under for so long to the point that you'll pass out. The rule is simple. Never go so far that you can't get back, and never stay so long that you run out of air. This is especially applicable for consequences. For instance, if you work for more than 11 hours a day, you're 67% more likely to get a heart disease. This shows why you need to come back up for air, because the consequences of a heart disease are way more important than the deep goal that you're trying to achieve. To manage this complex act of counterbalancing, you need to treat your personal life and work as 2 separate buckets with completely different rules. You should look at life like 4 juggling balls, which is work, family, health, and friends. All of them are glass balls, but work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it bounces back. You can pick it up later and you can always control it. But family, health, and friends are glass balls. If you drop one, it shatters. Ain't no control Z this time. It gets permanently damaged and sometimes you can't even fix it. That's what I meant with some things are far more important than your deep double down goals. The rules are simple. Since work is a rubber ball and can always bounce back, you should go long and also stay long. That means going extreme for a very long time. Ain't no multitasking, trying different business ideas simultaneously, or playing around with a few niches. Nah, go extreme with one business idea and give it your absolute best. But for personal life, like family, health, and friends, you should go short and come back fast. Your personal life can't wait because they are glass balls, and thus you need to swing between them quickly. Never stay in a glass ball for too long, but also never neglect it for too long. But the hard part is when work and life intertwine. How could you go extreme on that rubber ball of work while you have all of those glass balls like friends, family, and health that also needs the time and attention it needs and deserves? I have actually made a video exactly talking about this problem. In this video, I'll explain to you 4 strategies on how to counterbalance focusing on your work whilst also making time for anything else. Click here to watch it. Thank you, join the Discord, link in bio, see ya.